So, good afternoon, good evening, good morning to all of my followers, and a big shout out to my recent followers, Michael, and I need to look at the name, Hannah Lowles. Welcome. Really glad that you have subscribed and you're enjoying the channel. Looking forward to you to spread the word and make this a success. So, without further ado, here's the cats. Let's talk about processing images. So this is part one of many. I'm going to break it down to the basics. Stacking. What is stacking? I mean, we know about, I don't know, stacking pancakes. Stack 'em, rack 'em, and pack them was a quote from Die Hard 2, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So when it comes to imaging, what does this mean? But here's a question I get asked quite often. Why not just take one very long exposure? Let's just do a single image for 2 hours. I mean, what's the harm? You're doing exactly the same as you would do for 100 exposures of 2 minutes, and don't quote my maths, please. So why not just take one very long exposure? Some key considerations. So here's what to think about when you're talking about long exposures. So for myself personally, I keep to 3 minutes. We have a busy sky with a lot of aircraft. Vienna Airport's not too far away, Bratislava Airport even closer. It's a busy sky. So the risks. Aircraft, as I've mentioned, large satellite trails. Yes, the software will take the satellite trails out. However, me personally, when I flick through my 100, maybe 200 images, if I see some large satellite trails, I will delete them. High clouds or any clouds. I mean, the forecast is as good as the forecast is. However, clouds will drift by and you're risking losing, I don't know, 10, maybe 15 minutes if you run your exposures too long. So again, I keep to 3 minutes. Imperfect polar alignment. My bad. So your polar alignment, as I've said in my previous videos, is absolutely critical to avoid star trails. So if your polar alignment is not 100% perfect, drop down on the exposure time. It's not worth running for 10 to 15 minutes and then realizing after all that time that you've got star trails. Inherent imperfections in mount. Oh, you can tell I'm English, can't you? Inherent imperfections in mount gears. Yes, I've got an old HEQ5 Pro Skywatcher mount. It's a gear-driven mount, and it has imperfections. So I will stick to 3 minutes. Mount knocks is my favorite. Animals, sudden gusts of winds, etc. Yes, I let the dog out at night, and hopefully he doesn't do anything close to my mount. However, when he runs past, you will get vibrations, and that will show up in your images. Now, here's a very interesting fun fact, and I was asked the other day. Hubble Hubble telescope is in space. It doesn't have animals, sudden gusts of winds, high clouds, etc. However, Hubble typically takes between 16 and 33-minute exposures. It doesn't go much past 33 minutes and it's in space. So again, I will stick with 3 minutes. I've pushed it to 5 before, been okay with the results, but ended up having to delete quite a few images because of da, 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 I do astrophotography, not plane spotting. So here's three images, just randomly selected from my library. Um, so you can see what happens when a plane goes past. On the left, you see you can see the wings. In the middle, you can see the wings and the two engines. And the third, to show it's my favorite, but you can see the heat from the engine of a passing aeroplane. So obviously, what did I do with those images? I deleted them, every single one of them. But I kept them for prosperity when it comes to demonstrating what happens. I'm so glad I did 3 minutes, not 15 minutes, because I would be quite upset if I'd lost any of these images after 15 minutes. So stacking, what is it? What is stacking? It's the combining of multiple images, light frames as we call them, to create one single image. Basically, you're layering image after image after image. And I'll show you an example after this slide. Multiple faint images combine to generate a stronger image. And we call this signal. It's all about the signal. There's many different softwares available for stacking, some free, some paid for. I'm a big fan of PixInsight. I used to use Astro Pixel Processor as well, and I still think APP is absolutely fantastic value for money. And I believe Luca Matico, if I'm not mistaken, is a big fan of APP for stacking. I need to talk to him and find out exactly why. They're normally combined with other images. So you've got your light frames. So we've got dark frames. There's a lot of discussion about dark frames, particularly with the ZWO 533 MC Pro that I use. You don't need dark frames. I still take them and build up a library at the beginning of the season. So they eliminate hot pixels, thermal noise, fixed pattern noise. Every sensor in every camera, doesn't matter if it's Astro camera or a DSLR, will have thermal noise, fixed pattern noise, and definitely hot pixels. They're like green and red blotches. Bias frames. So again, I won't get into too much detail. They remove the camera's baseline noise. So every camera sensor has a baseline, and the bias frames aim to remove that. But my favorite, flat frames. And again, I'll do a video on all these at some point. Removes dust shadows, vignetting. I don't have that issue. I have the Red Cat 51. Uneven brightness. But there's a phrase you're going to, when you start learning this hobby, there's a phrase you're going to learn and think, what on earth are they talking about? We're talking dust bunnies. So dust bunnies are little bits of dust on your imaging train, and we talk about a train, so your telescope, your spacers, and your camera, at some point in there, there will be dust, and they show up as dust bunnies. I love that term. So, anyway, what's the result? So, as I mentioned earlier, I usually stick to 180 seconds or 3 minutes. But on the left, you see a 1.5 minute exposure. That's 90 seconds. That's just 90 seconds. You can still see some nebulosity here. You can still see the Rosette Nebula. However, when it comes to stacking and some processing in PixInsight, I'll give you that. But after 109 images, you can absolutely see how the stacking works. the end result compared to a single exposure is just a million miles apart. So, to keep it short, because it's been quite long, stacking works, and it doesn't matter if you're stacking with a DSLR with no mount. Keep to the, and you saw this in my earlier video, keep to the 500 rule. You can do amazing stuff without guiding, without tracking, with a DSLR on a basic mount. Just find the Orion Nebula. It's an amazing target, and I'll show you some of my earlier images from that, and keep shooting. However, in the meantime, I wish everybody, my entire beautiful audience, all of you, a beautiful evening, clear skies, unlike here, and stay safe, stay healthy, stay spacey. TTFN.